Bamboo is cut into triangles and fit together to give the illusion of shattered glass. The frame of the door itself looks quite odd. It's like an elongated octagon. If you aren't careful, you might catch your boot on the door frame, so watch out. You find the tiny cabinet handles that serve as doorknobs, and grab one in each of your hands and swing the double doors open and stride through.
It appears that you have succeeded your mission, more or less, in the Land of Sweets, meaning that your goodwill journey will continue to the Land of Gifts Ungiven, the next stop on your tour before the City of Coal. After the rains in the Land of Sweets, there was a part of all of you that wanted to stay and help, but you were waved off quickly, especially given how imperative it is that the Christmas spirit is repaired, for lack of a better term. So you hook Halley up once again to your sleigh, and she begins to bound and prance, and you are off again into the sky, heading towards your next destination. As you travel, this air, these clouds, the sky, it's more turbulent than your journey to the Land of Sweets. The skies look grayer. Not quite dismal, but that sort of look after a long snow, where the sun is sort of struggling to peek through the clouds, but it still sends everything into this beautiful glitter. But you can only appreciate that but so much when the thing's going up and down and, bouncing about in the air. It is here that we find you now. In the sky. Hopefully staying in the sky. At least until you get where you're supposed to be going.
G.U.M.D.R.O.P, you okay?
Rather not talk about it.
Cedar?
Yeah, I think I'm getting used to it. Halley, is there any smoother air coming up, though?
I don't know. I'll try.
Okay. I think I'm about to get frosting all over me.
We should be careful when we get here. I didn't expect anything like those snowflakes. That was pretty bad.
Your journey continues, all of you kind of going in and out between conversation and silence as you muse about what's led you to the point so far. At least those of you who are capable of musing. Some of the folk are a little bit more, no thoughts, just vibes. It is not terribly long before you set down in what you know is the, for lack of a better term, landing pad for the Land of Gifts Ungiven, but you see surrounding the area what could only be described as a veritable battalion of tin soldiers, all armed and ready. They all look like they're watching something, and they eye you with suspicion the second that you all land.
What do you reckon all this is?
Can we see what they're watching?
They're looking both out around the area and up towards you. Like, you can tell that you're being watched as you're coming down, but they also seem to be surveying the area. As you look further, you can see that there seems to be some kind of hubbub. Like, there are a lot of official groups and soldiers wandering around looking... Panicked is not the correct word, but their energy is absolutely a flurry.
Is there one that looks like in charge?
You don't see a tin soldier that looks to be in charge, but among them you see standing tall is a nutcracker, looking around with this big wooden frame and this weirdly thin, long beard.
Once we land, I'll nudge Cedar. Come on, you come with me.
Yeah, all right. And she's gonna hop down.
The nutcracker is going to march up to you and salute before dropping his arm down officiously. You were expected.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate that we are not able to give you the welcome that we had originally planned, but unfortunately, we are in a bit of a minor crisis. It might be best for you to continue moving on.
Is there any way we can help?
He looks suspiciously at Halley and then back at you. I believe there is nothing you could do.
I mean, we can do a lot. My friends here did save the spirit last year, so I wouldn't underestimate them, certainly.
He looks around at the other tin soldiers and kind of nods at them, but it's sort of like a stiff bow sort of deal, because nutcrackers don't really have detached necks, so he's got to move like sort of the whole torso. They march away for a moment, and he softens his effect just a little. With your friend there, and he nods over at Halley, it might be best if you all continue. I believe that everyone is going to be very wary of any reindeer around these parts.
Halley is the nicest reindeer. With all due respect, she can help.
Unfortunately, he kind of like looks around. Our leader has been killed, and we are positive it was by a reindeer.
That can't be right.
I wish it was, but she's been run over. If this is not cut out, audience, I need you to understand that not only did everyone pause and turn away from their mics, Austin scooted his chair out of frame.
Austin disappeared. Yeah.
That's horrible.
Good effort, Austin. Honestly, you brought it in.
Nar.
Well, is there anything you can do to guide us so we can help the Christmas spirit around here? We've heard that it's not like it used to be. I can see why.
It seemed to be in some level of recovery. He looks back at the largest concentration of figures. You can see that they're all sort of crouched, hunched, or looming over a figure that's on the ground. It is blessedly not super visible, but I'm not sure if that will maintain after, he looks back, after this death.
What evidence led you to believe it was a reindeer?
There are some clear hoof prints. I don't know that I'd recommend it. You are welcome to investigate the scene if you'd like, but I wouldn't recommend.
Cedar's gonna look at Jack.
Maybe Halley can give us a little insight.
Are you going to show Halley a corpse, you absolute monster? You can't do that to Halley!
I'm gonna have Cedar show her.
You want to show a baby?
Monster! I am
She's
a grown
like 3 years old!
I'm a grown adult, a full year and a half.
This should be you, Jack. You're already jaded. Why are you like, hey, you know the purest beings that are my party? They should be the one investigating it. Not me, the guy who kills people with icicles. No, it should be the friendly reindeer, the almost 2-year-old, and the 5-day-year-old Cookie.
Fine. I'll go check it out.
Jack, as you approach the figure, you notice that blessedly it is covered by a large blanket. One that looks to be hand-knitted, and in some parts it was repaired with darning. It's a very wholesome, folksy, lovely little gift that is now smeared with blood. Everyone around you eyes you sort of warily, but makes room for you to investigate.
Yeah, I'll keep looking over my shoulder at everybody and just be like, sorry. Kneel down, lift up the quilt.
All right, roll for investigation for me.
All right.
Cedar is following 2 feet behind Jack, completely silent, by the way.
Investigation, I got 12.
You're able to tell a couple of things. One, you can see impact points that do have the shape of a reindeer's hoof. You can see what this person might have looked like before. You can see a knitted woolen shawl. You can see a pair of spectacles that have been crushed. But you also see, in a couple of spots, something smeared black and dusty on the body.
More coal. I'll walk back over to my group.
You get immediately jump scared by Cedar, who is standing 2 feet behind you.
See-
sorry, I wasn't sure what to expect. I've never seen anything like that before.
Well, I hope you never have to see anything like it again. And I put a hand on her back, turn her away. But I whisper to her, there was coal.
Oh, like with the bells.
Yeah. So maybe it wasn't a reindeer doing this of its own volition.
Oh, man.
And once we get back to G.U.M.D.R.O.P and Halley, I'll kind of fill them in on what I saw too.
It appears that the Nutcracker has moved aside to give you all some level of privacy. It also seems that he's guarding you. You all notice that Halley keeps getting really uncomfortable or bitter looks from the people around you, and it appears that the presence of the Nutcracker is keeping the crowd away.
Jack, do you think maybe I should go fly around and not be here and look for stuff around the town, but not be here and maybe not super close to these people?
Yeah, but maybe take G.U.M.D.R.O.P with you.
Oh.
To fly? You monster!
I could maybe follow from the ground. I wouldn't mind that.
We need Paco Bell. He's the only adult in the group.
Paco Bell's sitting at home smoking a pipe right now. It's I hope they're having a good time.
Maybe it would be better if we just stuck together. Maybe take a loop real quick, just to see what you can see.
Okay. And she'll start to do her prancy dance before takeoff and then go up and start looking around.
Roll perception for me. Or investigation, whichever is higher.
Okay. 16.
So you prancy dance around, and you notice that there seem to be quite a few people and things focused on the sky, as if they're waiting for another creature from the air to swoop down and murder. You prance around, and you start moving away from the city proper of the Land of Gifts Ungiven. You can see from the space that you're at what appear to be partially snowed over train tracks. That shouldn't be the case. They should be active. As you go further down, you see, about a couple miles out from the town, a derailed train, half covered in snow.
Halley will land and check it out.
The front of the train indicates that it's the Polar Express, and you can see the bells and everything sort of scattered around the detritus of the train itself. There doesn't appear to be anyone on board or anyone left. Almost as if the train was completely unmanned when it derailed. Small blessings. As you investigate, you notice that the engine of the train is completely clean. There's no coal, there's no dust, there's no anything. But you also notice that the luster of the metal, of the polished brass and the bells, and the luxuriousness of the seats, everything is dulled. As if the magic was just sucked right out of it.
Once she has kind of investigated this whole train, I don't think there's anything else there that would have caught her attention that she would go further, so I think she would do her prancy dance back up and fly back to everybody and report, you guys, there's the train, the Polar Express. You guys know the train?
Yeah,
I found it, but it's crashed and it looks bad. Well, it looks good. Okay, hang on, back up. Part of it looks good because it looks clean, but then part of it looks bad, like it's not good anymore.
Oh, is everyone okay?
Yeah.
There's no one there.
What? That's weird. Why wouldn't there be anybody there?
I don't know.
Who's driving it?
I don't know.
Do you need somebody to drive a train? Or?
Do you need somebody to drive a train? I've never driven a train. Could I drive a train?
I'm sure you could, Halley.
Do you have conductor programming?
Audience, please draw Halley in a little conductor's hat. Thank you.
I only know a little bit about trains.
Doesn't seem like they were very important to my creator.
What parts were clean? What parts were not clean?
Oh, the engine. The engine was super clean. It was like new metals. And it's not that the rest of it wasn't like dirty, but like it was like it's not got the Christmas spirit in it. Like it's just like a train.
Oh no.
Maybe like the lake.
The lake had a bunch of Christmas spirits in it.
Well, they didn't have those spirits didn't have the Christmas spirit. G.U.M.D.R.O.P.
Okay, if you say so.
Maybe we should let the old Nutcracker know.
Yeah. Do you want me to tell him?
If you want.
I'll bring him over because he seems cool with you, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of getting some weird vibes from everybody else.
Yeah. I agree. Vibes are weird.
And Cedar's gonna huddle over to the Nutcracker.
You can tell he sort of notices your approach before he turns. And he turns sort of halfway, still keeping his eye on the people around you, but is acknowledging that you are there. Yes, ma'am.
Our friend Halley, it appears that she's found something. It's the Polar Express.
We lost contact with the Polar Express some time ago.
Well, she found it.
He's going to do a quick whistle, and a couple of the tin soldiers are going to come to him. He mutters something to them, they nod, and trot off. He turns. All right. Can your friend take me there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Are you afraid of flying?
I've never flown before. I would not know.
Oh, boy, howdy, hold on tight.
It's awful.
Confused, he sort of reaches out his little wooden hand and, puts it on Cedar, looking confused as to how that will help him fly.
All right, yeah, I'll take you there. And she, guides him over.
To the sleigh.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are going to go investigate the Polar Express.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to gear up and head out. It's going to take a little bit of time, but you are able to come across exactly what Halley described. A derailed train partially covered in snow. Those of you who are familiar with the Polar Express, which would be Jack and also Jack, are familiar with this beauty and this luster that this train is supposed to have. And it doesn't. It looks dull, industrial, completely unremarkable in any way of Christmas spirit or energy. It doesn't feel magic. It feels mundane.
I will, as we see that with our own eyes, I'll let the Nutcracker know we encountered a being that used coal magic. And I think that this might be connected somehow because there was some coal on that poor old lady under the quilt that got ran over. The magic was being siphoned from this Christmas lake. And I think this is kind of what has happened to the Polar Express.
He looks over it solemnly. You kind of get the feeling that this has been too much bad news in a short period of time for this guy. He sighs. Well, that means that there's something larger at work here. That does not bode well.
No.
If there's a spare minute while we're here, G.U.M.D.R.O.P's going to just walk up to Jack and be like, hey, the R in my name's for recon. You want to do any kind of recon while I'm here?
I didn't know that, but see what you can find out.
Reconnaissance operations prototype.
Oh, I did know that.
Yeah, that's what the R.O.P is for.
What's the G.U.M.D. for?
Gingerbread on our Model D.
Wait, there was 3 more before you?
Oh, I don't know. They might have burned up.
Jack, it's hard to get recipes right on the first try.
I'm going to look around for tracks, if that's cool. Not train tracks, but other kinds.
There's been a great deal of snow, so you are going to have to roll for me, because whatever was here is probably long gone now.
Great news. That is a dirty 20.
So while there has been quite a bit of snow, you're able to tell that there are some recessions that, based off of the depth of the snow that you are seeing on the train, is likely they were made when the train derailed. You can tell, though just barely, that they're in some kind of cloven shape.
I'm going to follow them.
You're able to follow them to the edge of the woods. Unlike the previous peppermint forest that you had entered, these woods are natural. They are filled with normal trees, as disappointing as that is in this magical land we have inhabited. But there's something off about the forest at large. It feels like it's intentionally hiding something, like the trees are conspiring. The tracks end pretty abruptly.
I'm going to look around where they end for coal dust on the trees or anything like that.
You're not able to find any on the trees, but if you dig a little into the snow, there is coal there. Coal dust, not just like huge rocks of it.
Found all the coal from the train.
Yeah, I just come back with like a handful of the sooty snow. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was kind of the same thing as that little boy. It was like a coal monster or something. It like poofed out of existence. But this one had hoofs. Hoofs. It had them weird feet like Halley's got.
Looks at Gum-Drop's feet.
Look, let's not be judging feet, alright? It was a mean thing that I said, and I take it back.
Anyway, he holds up the thing and goes,
Anyway, there's black shit all over this snow too.
Where did you learn that word?
I mean, soot. What did I say?
Who's been letting Gum-Drop watch Adult Swim after his bedtime?
There's black soot all over the snow too. That's what I said.
All right. We won't tell Paco Bell.
You've investigated the train and the tracks leading away from it. You know that there is no coal to be found here, nor, more importantly, Christmas spirit. Whatever magic that powered this train once is gone. Quiet. For lack of a better word, dead. As is the smear of the leader of the Land of Gifts Ungiven. With this new information, you now have more to go on. Whatever happened here, it appears, has been tied into what happened at the Land of Sweets. You knew something bigger was going on, but its scale increases with each discovery. Good luck.